All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Readers. It's been a while since I've covered the quantum sector. I think I've covered these four before, but it looks like the order is kind of shifting. So QUBT, we see that one on the screen right now. IONQ, RGTI, and QBTS are the four I have planned here. All right, so um, offerings. Listen, I'm going to talk about the offering in detail shortly, right? But listen, when you look at this screen, there is absolutely nothing at all that talks about share count, that talks about float, this and that. So to me, I don't mind an offering. I really don't, right? Market generally isn't happy when it hears about an offering. We kind of see it here, but to me, offering details matter. And really, to me, when you're talking about a stock that not that long ago was in the sub 50 cent world, did not do a reverse split to get up here, and does an offering hopefully somewhere around here, right? Hey, that's not a bad thing, actually. You know what I mean? So, again, the details matter. What they do with the money matters, but I'll get into all that. But overall, offerings aren't necessarily a horrible thing in my book. You know what I mean? IONQ, I wish I was paying more attention. I obviously had some good lines. We obviously break all five and fly. I mean, my, so much to like here, right? And it's this still looks really good. You know what I mean? Volume's growing. We've got RSI's not too bad. Look at that really nice positive, really nice divergence on the MACD. I mean, oof, Ion Q. Oh my goodness, right? RGTI, this one used to be a good favorite of mine. I remember trading this one maybe in this window. Like, I think it's been about a year since I've covered these, so maybe it was this window. But look, RGTI knows how to bounce on the 8, how to bounce on the 20, how to break all 5 and fly. It did a smaller version right here. It's on the path of doing it again. I like a stock that knows how to ride the lines. Obviously, it gets really ugly when it's on the wrong side of the lines, but hey, knock on wood, we've got a strategy, we've got a trading strategy, and knock on wood, right? It does good things. And then the last one, this one used to be the first one I would cover every time. QBTS. Oof, I got a little dyslexic there with the numbers. All right, so look, I know that's not the prettiest of candles. I know that's not a good double digit bad day, but hey, I mean, there's still a lot to like here. We're still holding the 8 moving average. I'm still seeing the 20 come up. Overall, things aren't that bad across all four. And look, what really matters right now is NASDAQ. All right, all of these are obviously very tech focused, so NASDAQ's going to come into play. We broke the golden line not too long ago. This is an important point. We're under the 8 and the 20. We're still holding the golden line. Clearly, we need to confirm one more, right? But NASDAQ is going to be very critical to the success or the slowdown of the stocks we're going to look at again. All right, I'll obviously consider S&P 500 as well, but again, this is such a heavy tech sector. I feel like Nasdaq's going to matter more, but again, you kind of see it. It's about the same thing, right? Under the 8, just over the 20. If we lose it, obviously, I'm going to be thinking 50 next, right? So as much as I really like the setup of these four, keep an eye on the indices. All right, so before we do go any further, though, and I give you more of my thoughts and opinions, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. I don't even know if there are any here. There aren't. I will draw some horizontal support and resistance lines. And then when we are done up here, we're going to use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can, please subscribe to this channel. Share this video online. Comment good or bad if you disagree. Look, anything you can do helps so much with these YouTube algorithms. But for real, just being here, giving me your time, oh, I'm so grateful for it. All right, so look, in a lot of ways, I realize hindsight's 2020. I realize that it's a gap down doji. It's a big minus 30% drop, but there's a couple things I hope you believe I would have said if I made, I saw a couple people ask, I'm really sorry I couldn't do this on Thursday. My Thursday is the hardest day at work for me, so it's hard to record. But look, on Wednesday, all right, this Wednesday, the 13th candle, our RSI, the third box kind of in the middle right there, right? RSI was already at an 82. Okay, I start ringing the alarm bell around 80, right? So 82 is pushing it, but hey, okay. We then make the next move, and you can see that same RSI is now 90. We went in a single day from that 82.77 all the way up to a 90.2. Someone's calling me. Let me make sure it's not my parents. It's not. I will call him back later. Look, when it's 80, I start to get worried. When it's 85, I start to get loud. When we hit 90, you gotta believe things are about to turn around, all right? When the next day is a Friday, I generally always say on almost every single video, I assume Friday is going to be a loser day. I wake up looking for red on Friday. It is part of my strategy. So volume was up here, it drops all the way down here, and then from there was the offering, which I'm going to talk about again shortly. But again, the 90 RSI on a doji up here. Give me a second. Shooting star. Look, I am not a pattern trader, okay? I am not a pattern trader, but one thing you generally don't like, again, some people might say it's not exactly it, maybe the body's too big, this and that. That kind of looks like that abandoned baby top. There's a big a big candle and then a doji right there, big candle doji right there, right? And again, I'm a break a line, lose a line guy, but I'm also here to look at other strategies. And that's what I like about the Discord. There's Elliott Wave things, Bollinger Band thing. I mean, I'm telling you, I've learned so much, and I ignore a bunch too, right? But candle dojis matter. High RSIs matter, all right? Offerings, in my opinion, don't. Okay, so look, I'm a swing trader, right? That's what I do. I don't hold anything long. I do my best to buy somewhere and then sell it somewhere a little better, right? That's how this thing works. When the stock not that long ago, literally July was not that long. I feel like Los Angeles is just starting to get cold. Like it wasn't that long ago we were in the heat of summer and July was what? This was a 50 cent. In fact, you could have gotten stuff all the way in the 30 cent world in July. If you can tell me you're going to make an offering on this day and we're around $4, let's take that offering. All right, let's sell some shares to someone and bank some money. Look, they are still in the process of growing. They're still in there's a lot to be established, and money in your hand that's not debt is important in a lot of ways. And to me, I would rather do an offering with good terms than go to the bank and take a loan and take debt. All right, that's my opinion. You know what I mean? Obviously, look, hopefully the CEO is not taking this money and going on a trip to like Turks and Caicos or whatever, right? You get what I'm saying? But that's always my opinion on offerings, any stock. All right. And again, there's nothing here that talks like there's nothing here that talks about share count. Even on my personal stacks on the 1 and the 2, there's absolutely nothing that talks about share count. You know what I mean? So look at the terms. What did they sell it for? All right. If it's in the dollar plus world, like this is a pretty established support. You can see the horizontal there. There's a little bit of a thing right here. I think if they sold it around 120, $1.20, oh, all day. Again, this was a 30 cent something stock not that long ago, right? So, and then hey, if it's above 121, again, to me, all day. Let's sell that all day. Put the money in the bank and not owe anyone anything, right? So, From here, what are we looking for? I think it's all about the 8 and the 20 right now. Okay, this stock was bouncing on the 8 and the 20 pretty well. If you watch the intro, I flashed it. IONQ bouncing on the 8 and the 20 really well. RGTI, nope, RGTI, typo, excuse me. Bouncing on the 8 and the 20 really well, right? What was the last one? QBTS. Bouncing on the 8 and the 20, not too bad, right? I think the others were a little better. But hey, right now, the sector is on the friendly side of these lines, okay? We've gone really high from it. We got to come back to it. If we lose this one, look, we can come as low as $1.50. That is actually a 50% drop from where we're at. And me saying it's still bullish around $1.60, look, it is. It technically is. That would be a horrible, 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 horrible 50% drop from where we're at right now, right? And this is post market, right? Sorry about that. This is regular hours. So I think the first alarm bell might be 210. Even that's a little too. I think I would start to get worried around 250. You're under the wick. You've lost the wick. If you lose 250, I think it's going to be a quick fall down to 210-ish. If you lose that 210, it's going to be a very fast fall to 150. All right. As long as we hold the 8 and the 20, though, it's bullish. And again, as long as the NASDAQ doesn't, go horribly, horribly wrong, it should be okay. Look, the 50 should bounce, all right? The 100 should hold. We have NVIDIA earnings next week. There's a lot that can pick NASDAQ back up. You know what I mean? So keep an eye on the indice, but overall, no, QUBT. Overall, the sector is looking good. The stock is looking good. The last big thing is, look, on the weekly, even after the offering noise, the weekly actually still closed over the 200 moving average. I need more. I don't let a single candle get me excited. But hey, at the very, very minimum, this thing did the job. It broke the 100 and went all the way to the 200 like a champion. If it breaks the 200, oh man, I think in no time at all, this will be a $7 stock. Maybe 5 something will slow it down, but I don't think so. You know what I mean? The last thing I'm going to talk about. So we're on the daily. And you can see, obviously you just saw it. All of these are actually real candles, right? There are nice real, come on. Did this thing freeze on me? Give me a sec. Sorry about that. There's nice real candles, nice real candles, nice real candles, right? As we get into the IPO and like when this thing first started, there's actually these crazy funky dashes on the daily, all right? So to me, oops, what did I just do? Oh, I started moving things. All right, whatever. I think it's okay. Oh, I think I actually kind of like doing that. I'm not going to lie. Come on. Why is my Zoom messing up, though? There we go. My apologies. So to me, the stock doesn't start until here. This is the first real trading of the stock. All of these, the volume is so insignificant, it doesn't make real candles. Around February 2020, it goes. And you can see that my low line here is actually basically around this IPO dip. Because again, this to me isn't the IPO moment. The other real important line that I want to draw is this, because that's basically the start of that. 235 is an important line. Do not lose 235. I mentioned 255 not that long ago. If we lose 255, maybe this 235 will hold it before we hit that like 210 and potentially 120 numbers that I was talking about, right? But maybe this is now a very strong support. And hey, you can see it. We've bounced, we've lost, we've had some support. Like this is an important line, actually. This is an important line. Cool. I think this is a good spot. Let me draw some lines up, because I don't think I've done that just yet. Next 2 lines, I know I talked about them, but let's draw that one right there. And then, let me zoom in a little bit more. Let's draw that right there. Oh, that's 9. That's a little too high, I think. Let's take half of that. Let's take it to that. That's 8. I'll take 8. I'm okay with that. All right, that's not too bad right here. I think these are our lines up, basically 5 and 8. And then these are our lines down right there. Cool. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions, even if you disagree. I spent a lot more time on that than I expected. Let's look at IONQ real quick. And man, IONQ is doing so well. And you can see it. This was the moment, October 2024 is when we break all five and fly. Not only does that happen, it happens with the volume. The volume now starts to destroy the 50-day, and all of a sudden there hasn't been a single day that's been under it. Some have been significantly better, some have been pretty much on the line, but oh my goodness, right? And again, just look at it. What went from just basically flat is now starting to go up. We've seen it before, right? But oof, that's a nice steeper up right there. So a lot of really big things happening on the volume side. Obviously, break all five and fly is one of my favorite catchphrases on this show, on this YouTube channel, right? And again, MACD looking great. RSI, it's still, the RSI is telling me we can live in the high 70s now. We've basically been horizontal in the 50s. We've been horizontal in the 60s. We're now finding ourselves horizontal in the 70s. You know what I mean? Like this IONQ is establishing itself really well. Oh man, I don't know if I even have any lines up here. Oh, I don't, because we're about to test all-time highs. Get out of here. Dun 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 dun. Oof, we are close. That's the line. 31.13 is our golden line. If we break that, this thing is gonna ride into the all-time highs. Loveliness. Where are we on terms of 50% candle? Look at that. We're pretty much at 50% candle. So my line is at 28.88. We're basically living at 29 right now. So to me, this golden line is the more important one for sure. I think the other one I do want to draw though is that right there. Basically the top and bottom of those two. So I think, in my opinion, one of two things is going to happen. It's basically these two lines. Either we're going to continue and test that 31.13. This is basically the best zoom of it. Look, it wasn't that long ago that the RSI peaked at 92, again came back and re-peaked at 93. We're only at a 74. It seems like this thing's going to go to 80, 80-ish. That maybe will get us over the line, bring us back down to it, use it as a support, and just go. All right? Keep an eye on 31.13 for IONQ. Oh man, if that breaks, this thing's gonna keep on going. All right, where's the weekly at? Okay, look, weekly's a little hot. Weekly is definitely at the 88. Okay, so uh, I don't think. Okay, so I don't know the math, right? I've always said that I'm not here pretending to be smart enough to know the math. It looks like we're gonna get the 8 moving average around 20, but I think 20 is way too low to talk about. Maybe 24 is a decent support, under that 26 number. I'm not going to draw the line, but again, the main concern is 88 RSI in the weekly is hot. Okay, this thing hasn't really quite been able to sustain, right? It peaks and drops. It did peak and hold, I would say, right? I think that's a little bit better, but yeah, a little bit concerned there. But again, quantum is hot right now. Keep an eye on the NASDAQ. If the NASDAQ continues, I think this stock is more about I'm just zooming back. It's more about the 31.13 line than it probably is a single indicator. Because again, look at that MACD. That's beautiful. Look at that volume. That's beautiful. You know what I mean? So golden cross on the 100 and the 20 and the 200 right there, right? I mean, 20's coming up. You got the 50 coming up. There's a lot of supports coming up very quickly. So more to like than not like. I'm here giving at least the cautions that are jumping out at me. But again, that's just a single indicator on a thing that has a lot of good on it, right? So let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions. Even if you disagree, let's kind of I don't want to say make it quick. I don't like that because I want to give you my full thoughts. But it's funny. RGTI and QBTS, the last two on this, these used to be my 1-2. I know that these have had some. Maybe it was just that little spike right there, but I know these have seen some good volumes and have made some good runs. And hey, look, I'm liking what I'm seeing here. All right, I am. Again, I always come into the day assuming Friday is going to be a loser day. I'm seeing the sector hold and bounce on the 8 and the 20. I think the one thing that's a little bit weak here is the confirmation and making me believe that we've broken the 200 moving average. Okay, the purple line, the last moving average, is the last and toughest for a reason. That's a good candle, doji don't count. That's a good candle, doji don't count. That's a good candle. That's not a great candle. That's a good candle. That's not a great candle. Excuse me, sorry about that. But there hasn't been that 1-2 boom boom confirmation that I expect, especially when you're trying to break all five and fly. You know what I mean? So that's been a little bit lacking here. And really, the volume's nice. Don't get me wrong. I still see that sustained up there, but it's been a lot choppier than the first two, right? So overall, I do think the first two, the QUBT and IONQ, are just a little bit better set up than this one. But again, this isn't horrible. We are bouncing and holding the 8 and the 20. I just need a little bit more to believe. Otherwise, I think we can come back down as low as 117. Hopefully, we don't go below 117, all right? Look at this weekly right here. Oh, this is a monster weekly right here. Okay, this is a brand new 100 moving average. There is no 200 moving average. This is a new stock, right? It's been alive for less than 200 weeks. I can tell you that very easily, since there is no 200 moving average line. We've tested this. We've tested this. We've tested this. We've tested this. We've tested it. Dojis don't count. That's a good candle. That don't count. But hey, we held more than 50%. I'm optimistic, and a 71 RSI doesn't have that high 88 that I was just concerned with IONQ. RGTI is still worth keeping your eyes on. Again, I did just say that the other two are better. I think that weekly makes me think this one has a nicer shot for just a little bit longer. And hey, if those two do well, that should help this one especially more. You know what I mean? So let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions, even if you disagree. QBTS. Again, this used to be the first stock that I would cover in this sector. This thing is still in the 13 million stocks. I mean, it's 13 million volumes. There was a while when I was, literally living exactly right here with a couple like peaks, a big volume, right? So it's nice to see us get back into the teens of millions of shares per day, right? To me, I will be very, very blunt. That's a beautiful break and confirmation right there. It is. I like this candle. Obviously, it could have been a little bit bigger, but if you look in the box over there, the high of the day was 160. The close of the day was 160. There is no wick up there. I like the strength of that candle. I think that's why we were at least able to make it here. But to me, that's a nicer confirmation, RGTI, than what I saw with this. And I think that's why it was just a little more choppy than QBTS, okay? So yeah, just a little bit 2 cents on that. Sometimes it is about the size of the candle, but hey, if you get a good strength like that, I think it'll help carry through, right? We are still holding the 8 well. It looks like the 20, did it golden cross? Sorry, yeah, I can see a little bit orange up there. It looks like they are saying that it's the same number. I think if I saw a third decimal, I do think I see a little bit of orange peeking above that purple right there. But that should golden cross a little bit stronger on Monday. The 50 did just golden cross the 100 right there. I think this one is setting up. Again, just keep an eye on NASDAQ. I'll just come to QQQ because it's easier. We're under the 8, we're under the 20. Let's just not let's not confirm, right? Let's reestablish ourselves at 500. Let's get back over the 20, and that'll be a good thing. Otherwise, hey, we better hold the 50. Important earnings are coming up, so that should help dictate things, right? QBTS, let's come to the weekly. I don't think I looked at the weekly just yet. Oof, the exact same setup as RGTI. In fact, this is a much fresher 100 moving average, and that's I would honestly say as 50-50 and as interesting as the other one. Obviously, it's easy to say, hey, this is a green doji and it ran and this and that. To me, that is as doji on the weekly as RGTI was, because that they are both doji. This thing held at least 50%. You can even argue it held like 80% of it. So that's a good doji to me. Obviously, I would say QBTS is just a little bit better because it closed above it, but this also is a 73. Where's your MACD? This one's positive. RGTI. This one's also positive. Volume went up and down as opposed to the consistent up of QBTS. Again, that's what I do to find that like bullish outlier, right? I literally go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth to see which one it is. But maybe this one's worth saying it's a little bit better than the other one. But to me, I'm always here to give the 50-50 respect a doji deserves. But oh man, there is very, very, very little resistance after that 199. Let me draw one more line. I think that's worth having. I think it's one of these candles. Let's take that one right there. I took the top of this one. I took the top roughly of that July 13th instead of this one, which is clearly taller. I thought that was the line, that was an attempt, and then a bad fail after. So 199, 262. Oh my goodness, from there. Listen, I'm not going to draw that line. You cannot have $5.70 dreams on a buck 60 stock. You know what I mean? But you break that 260 and very, very big things can happen on this. All right. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions, even if you disagree. Oh, I appreciate you all so, so much.